Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Stronger Than Yesterday, and you may recognize that title. Yes, it is from a Britney Spears song called Stronger, and for whatever reason, I love that song. It's an amazing song, and hashtag free Britney. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin the reading. I'm feeling eclectic today. We are going to get into it. We have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1, which is the red tea light. Pile number 2, which is the orange tea light. And pile number 3, which is the yellow tea light. So take a deep breath. Anchor into your energy for the day, feel strong in who you are and the choices that you're making in your life and the direction that you're headed, okay? And clear your mind and think of a color. What comes to your mind first? Yellow, orange, red, red, orange, yellow, yellow, orange, red. What is coming to mind? We're gonna go ahead and get into pile number 1. I'm excited to be here with me. Are you guys enjoying June Pride Month? Are you having a good time? Let me know how you're celebrating in the comments if you feel so inclined, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, let's begin. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the red tea light, and today's reading is called Stronger Than Yesterday. As Britney Spears would say, I'm stronger than yesterday. Now there's nothing in my way, okay? Thank you for being here. Pile number 1, we are gonna go ahead and get into it. This is the Starman Tarot here, based on David Bowie, but it's a little hard to shuffle, so it's an amazing deck, but we shall make do. Pile number 1. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number 1, who comes here today with an open heart and an open mind, seeking your guidance. Thank you for allowing me to be the medium in the channel between yourself and pile number 1. Show us how pile number 1 is stronger than yesterday. Cheetahs, my cheetahs in pile number 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you guys remember the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, from back in the day? Anyway, I don't know why it just popped into my head as I was shuffling, but of course Will Smith was on that show years ago. But let's go ahead and get your oracle cards out, then we'll look at your tarot, okay? We have here, moving forward. The first step is taken within our stillness, and she looks like she is being guided here, and some of you may have a special connection to birds, or you may just have like that intuitive knowing, even though it's hard, even though it seems long, even though I don't know what's coming next, I'm moving forward, okay? Wonderful. Moving forward. We have grapes, time to go out and have fun. Yay! Pile number 1, fantastic. And maybe after a period of feeling alone or feeling empty or feeling, agitated because she's alone in the desert with the sun right on her, very hot, very warm, but still moving forward anyway. So no matter where you are in life, finding that stillness within and moving forward. We have card number 28. We may have some people here around that age, and you guys may be on your Saturn return or close to it. We have sadness here, okay? So this is something that you guys have been, even though you have been sad about something, even though you have felt upset about something, you're still pushing forward, you're still moving forward. Good for you. We have butterfly and evolve. I love that. Of course, butterflies are gorgeous and beautiful. We have Capricorn energy. We have very serious, ambitious, and sometimes, with Capricorn, because it's a Saturn ruled sign, and I'm picking up on this sadness here too, that, things haven't been easy, for you, pile number 1. They haven't been even though you're a very well prepared badass, and that, you know, you're a very disciplined person, perhaps too disciplined, perhaps, you know, putting too much pressure on yourself, perhaps punishing yourself at times, perhaps not giving yourself the pat on the back that you deserve, perhaps not allowing yourself to really enjoy the things that you have done, and always feeling like you have to be better, or always feeling like the efforts are not good enough, you know? And pile number one, I think you are evolving away from some of this heavier energy, and things are getting lighter. And it's time to go out and have some fun. It's time to shake things up. It's time to make a change. It's time to make a splash. It's time to evolve out of a very old phase that you guys have been carrying with you for a long time, or a heaviness in your heart, or a very trying, probably productive period, but at the same time, possibly feeling broken. Pile number one, okay? We have Virgo, so we have Capricorn and Virgo, my earth signs here, who are extremely dedicated, extremely loyal, always working. Perhaps some of you in this pile are workaholics, or if you are sad, you just throw your energy into learning, into growing, and perhaps, you know, knowing what the way forward is a big deal for you guys. And perhaps there has been some setbacks with your work or your career, or what you are how you're trying to get yourself aligned to the right opportunities in your life, okay? And just talking about what a structured queen you are, pile number one, or king over here, and that you have really good intentions for what you're trying to do. But I also think some of you have been very busy, and you haven't given maybe enough thought to like enjoying yourself, or having fun, or trying something different, because earth energy can very much get us in a routine of doing the same thing over again, and work and work and work and work, right? But I feel you guys are evolving out of this, okay? And let's see what else. We have I am aligned. Yes, I just mentioned alignment. I was just talking about alignment. And with Virgo energy, we find alignment and being aligned to our goals, our dreams, our ambitions, extremely important. And you're coming through as master number 22. I am aligned. You are in possession of incredible creative powers, and it is assured that you can achieve anything you wish. Perhaps some of you have been coming out of a dark phase career-wise, or just a feeling of overworking, or doing too much, or it's not good enough. I'm not getting to where I want to go. I need things to change. And here, just talking about moving forward, the first step is taken within our stillness, okay? And balancing that too with enjoying yourself and having fun. We have the 9th house of exploration. So actually taking some time to, perhaps some of you are wanting to go back to school, perhaps you're wanting to study something different, perhaps you're wanting to travel. I see a hot air balloon here, and there's more birds for those of you that are very connected. When you see birds, or you feel that they're guiding you in some type of a way. But I just feel like you guys need to get ready for some strong success. And I feel some of you here could be getting connected to something that actually brings you rewards, alkalides, brings you really positive, good things in your life. But I also get that you may have felt like you had like tons of weight on your shoulders, and the eyes of everyone on you, you know? And I feel like some of you are getting very focused in though, on what it is that the next steps that you want to take to explore. And she looks like here, like she has like this wide vista in front of her. And she's being guided by the sun, by her individual identity and her goals and her dreams, her wishes. And the sun, of course, has to do with reward and honor and moving forward, right? After a feeling of setbacks, this isn't working, I'm a failure, it's not, no matter what I'm doing, it's not becoming what I want it to be. But I feel like you guys are becoming like more confident in yourself and what you're doing, and you're saying, no, I am alive, 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 alive. I am alive, but I'm also aligned. I feel like you guys are saying I am alive and aligned to the right path. And it's changing, you're changing, life is changing. And what you're aligning to may be different than what it was in the past. And that's okay. That's a very good thing for you, pile number 1, okay? And having faith. The opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, and having faith in what you're doing. And the opposite sign to Capricorn is Cancer, getting comfortable with where you're at and having faith in the next steps of your path, all right? And let's see what we have here for tarot messages. The Queen of Cups. I love it. And of course, you guys are very in tune with your emotions and very in touch with yourself, perhaps more in touch with what you want and who you are than you've ever been in your life. And I like her glasses in this picture. Some people, like, they look older than their age. They look like, some people, even though they're younger, they have gray hair, or they have a lot of gray hair, or they have platinum grayish hair color. And then, wearing black framed round glasses is also what I'm seeing here. Perhaps you guys have a very unique look to yourself. And perhaps you're thinking, these last couple of years have really aged me, or they've really made me feel like more serious about what I'm doing. And maybe with this Capricorn, Virgo, and sadness, you have been very obsessed with what you're doing and your goals and your dreams and your ambitions. And perhaps you do feel like you've grown a lot. Okay. And that even failures, or even things that we think are failures, at the end of the day, help us become more mature and help us appreciate who we are even more along the way. Ooh, the Lovers. Oh my God. Pile number 1. And we have the High Priestess. Ooh, I like it. I very much like it. You're very independent, I feel, pile number 1. And I feel like your powers are really stronger than before. Perhaps in the past you were really sad or emotionally like waiting for someone to acknowledge you or to see you for who you are. And I feel like, with this High Priestess, you're really, you really don't care anymore necessarily about whether that old person sees you for who you are. You see you for who you are. And that's the most important thing, really. And this is very emotional, I feel, with the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Cups. And this is kind of where you guys might have been dealing with some difficult feelings and needing to explore, like, why do I feel so dissatisfied? Why do I feel so disconnected and dissatisfied with what I'm doing? Like, why do I feel just that the thing that I want is always out of reach? Why do I feel that I can have certain things, but I can't have what I really want and need and treasure, okay? And I feel like you're getting more with the High Priestess here. This I am aligned is important, I think. And, there's always this thing. Some people feel like when they're single that they're more clear about what it is that they want, or that's easier for them to align to what they want. Because sometimes people feel that getting involved in a relationship or a connection will just kind of confuse them further, or cause issues, you know. But these two are good. These two look good together. That's all I'm gonna say. Pile number one is there is somebody for you here, and there is like a merging of souls happening, and it's a very like magnetic energy, and it's very sweet, and it's very fresh. And I feel like you guys are becoming emotionally open with the Queen of Cups to the idea of perhaps letting someone in your life. And I'm seeing the name Cher or Cherry or Cheri, or a name that starts with CH and ends with EI, okay? Sherry, Cherry, like that type of name. And I kind of feel like the things that maybe you were afraid of in the past, as far as getting close to someone or letting someone really, really connect and merge with someone else's soul on a like more spiritual, sexual, spiritual level. I feel like some of you are becoming more open to that, more like, you're like, yeah, I could see myself doing that, or I am more open to that, or I am emotionally healing with the Queen of Cups. Like I am emotionally healing and getting tapped into my like lover's energy. And I feel some of you are getting very close to this point where like intuitively, I feel with the High Priestess, you feel like new doors are opening for you, and new paths are opening for you, and knowledge as well. Now, the High Priestess with the 9th house is also very much about exploring your spirituality and exploring your gifts, your spiritual gifts. Very much so about exploring that and opening up to that and trusting yourself in that as well, okay? And trusting, like, you know, some people are afraid to delve into that world, and I feel like you guys are ready to find other things that fill you up, because when you're just focused in the material world, or you're just focused on goals, or you're just focused on work and that's it, like life can feel really unexciting. Life can feel really lame. I feel like, you know, with the 9th house here, you're getting more. The 9th house is also about our dharma. It's about like what we are charged with doing while we're on this planet, and it's about doing the right thing. The 9th house is one of the most luckiest houses in astrology, and when we align the High Priestess with that, it's like you understanding, yeah, I can explore many different options, I can try many different things, I can explore my life on a deeper level, because I know and I trust and I have faith that I'm aligned to what's coming for me. And I just feel like you guys are growing, like as far as your spiritual abilities, your intuitive abilities, your channeling. Some of you here may be channelers, spiritualists, your witches, I feel like here too. And, you know, you just want to dig deeper into that, and you want to just dig deeper into, perhaps some of you come from different cultures or different traditions, you know, spiritual women or wise women, or you have ancestry that you're really wanting to explore, and that you're really wanting to like play with and understand and get to know better. And I feel like these things are all extremely exciting for you, and they're all like represent you kind of like maybe dialing back some of your commitments in the outer material world, and instead of giving more to yourself, you know, spiritually, emotionally, etc. And I feel like some of you here with this lovers and Queen of Cups, like you're open to letting someone touch you again, or you're open to letting, you know, and some people are a little tightly buttoned up at times in their life, or they're a little afraid of touch, or they're a little afraid of intimacy, or they're a little afraid of letting someone in, you know, but what they're currently experiencing here is not self-satisfying or self-sustaining. And the Eight of Cups is where we go look for something better, because what's currently being offered isn't really, you know, working for us anymore. And some of you may feel that you've got two choices. You can leave what you want on the back burner, or you can reach for the thing that you really want at the expense of blowing up something else in your life. But I also feel that you're more in touch than ever right now with your ability to like give and receive love, and to be a phenomenal lover, and to connect with a lover on a very like, you know, mental and emotional plane. And sometimes, like, I feel some of you here really want to experience that deep spiritual, physical love without losing track of your own spiritual journey. And, you know, I feel like you're becoming more like emotional, you're becoming more open emotionally, you're becoming wiser, and you're actually admitting to yourself, I feel here with this Eight of Cups, when something isn't enough for you emotionally, or when something isn't filling your cup, or when something isn't like creating happiness for you. And I feel like some of you here had been miserable for a while about something in your life, okay? And it could be work, but I feel that it has something to do with your dreams, your ambitions, your work, your dedication, your schooling, perhaps here with the ninth house, or not continuing on with some goal, or not continuing on with something that you thought you were going to do, that maybe in the past brought a lot of meaning to your life, but at this point, you've opened yourself up to other options with the Lovers. You've opened yourself up to expanding intellectually and emotionally with the Queen of Cups. And the heaviness is kind of waning, I feel, with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a waning type of an energy. If it was a moon, it'd be a waning moon. And so the dissatisfaction, or like living with dissatisfaction constantly, is kind of waning out of your life like a waning moon. And some of you here, because you have managed to take the next step in moving forward, because you have contemplated a different result for yourself, and you have waited in stillness with the High Priestess and the Eight of Cups in that place of discomfort, trying to identify what it is, trying to stick with the feeling so that you can, you know, evolve and do something different. And I do think it is time to go out and have fun. It's time to go out and have fun with the Lovers and the Queen of Cups. It's time to get busy. You know, it's busy bees. I see bees all around them, you know, like attracting the honeybees. And, you know, when I talk about getting busy, pile number one, I mean getting busy. You know what I'm saying? You'll be busy little bees over there, but not like breaking your neck and breaking your back to try to make something happen, or exist in a structure where you just feel like you're getting used, or you feel like your efforts are not being appreciated, okay? And some of you are ditching that experience in order to fulfill some of your own dreams, because the Nine of Cups, or the Nine of Cups, of course, comes right after the Eight of Cups. But the ninth house really having to do with like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are the things? What's your vision, right? The 10th house is where we achieve something, but the ninth house is, what is my vision? What vision am I aligning to? And that's changing for you, pile number one. The vision that you're aligning to is definitely changing. I don't know why I just got the word tiramisu. Maybe some of you were eating it, or you love it. It's your favorite dessert. Or you'd love to share a sweet treat with your love, or just really connect. I feel like with the Lovers, you guys are ready socially to connect, because the Lovers is a very social card. It's a Gemini card, and it does have to do with a meeting of the minds, if you will. And the Queen of Cups having like to be open emotionally and cleansed emotionally from the past, and the High Priestess to be dialed into that deep sense of like belonging and spiritual wisdom that comes with the High Priestess, okay? And I also feel like just like not abandoning yourself. Like even if you do connect with someone, even if you do get on that vibe with somebody, you're not going to abandon your own like search for your purpose or your spiritual path or your mission in life. And it feels good. It feels good to be realigning to a different vision for your life from a place of stillness, and allowing yourself to really like open up and have some fun. Okay, so pile number 1, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. You are stronger than yesterday, obviously so. And you know what? Sometimes we think that banging our heads against the wall, like constantly working, like keeping ourselves in a very like rigid routine or overly structured existence is being strong. But you know, there's different types of strength in the world, and if we're making ourselves very unhappy by stubbornly like sticking to something that we know isn't going to fill our cup at the end of the day, then that isn't necessarily strength. That's more like martyrdom or suffering. And I feel like, you know, with the Queen of Cups, like you're moving away from that, and you're seeing how vulnerability and emotions and being open emotionally, having some vulnerability, etc., is actually strong. Like that's actually a strong, being stronger than yesterday, because you're not shut down anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Pile number 1, you're coming out of a phase of being shut down into a phase of being like much more open. And it may make you a little nervous, but I think you know it's time. Okay, so pile number 1, good for you. I'm so happy for you, my loves, and I wish you the best. I'd love to hear any thoughts or comments that you have regarding the reading. Now let's move on to pile number 2. Okay, let's do it. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the orange tea light, and today's reading is called Stronger Than Yesterday. We are going to go ahead and get into your reading in just a moment here, pile number 2. Thank you for being here. I feel some of you are practicing with the way that you communicate, or you're practicing becoming a stronger communicator, possibly like to communicate your boundaries, or to, you know, communicate, try to get across your point, this type of thing, okay? Maybe you're trying to create some structure around your life right now too. Interesting. 4 of Pentacles, okay? Hanging in there when things are tough. 4 of Pentacles, hanging in there. Hanging tough. All right, let's go ahead and see what's on the plate here for my pile number 2s. Let's see. Spirits, angels, and guides, thank you for allowing me to be the medium in the channel here between yourself and pile number 2. Please help me get 4 cards here, which symbolizes pile number 2 being stronger than yesterday. Please and thank you. I don't know why, I just feel like saying I love the color blue. Also, Spirit is showing me like an oil lamp or an old oil lamp. Perhaps maybe you have a relative or a friend that had an old oil lamp or an antique or something like that. But I'm also seeing the color blue. Kind of reminds me of the Hermit a little bit, but let's see. Let's see here for my pile number 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, pile number 2. The 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I love that. This deck is the Pride deck, and it says, free hugs from grandma and yay, son, proud mom. So maybe some of you here have a grandma that you really love. Free hugs from granny, everybody in pile number 2. That's fantastic. All right. You're like, I'm finally proud of myself. I'm finally getting somewhere. Yay, stronger than yesterday. Let's look at your oracle cards first, then we'll look at the tarot, okay? We have here confusion, growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. Yeah, growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through. And look at that. Oh my God, there's the lantern. Jesus Christ, this is all blue. Pile number 2, what's going on? I love it when I like channel the first card that I didn't even know was there. There's like the blue sea, there's the lightning over it. And you saw the way I was like fumbling with those cards in the beginning. And I was going to mention something about, I did mention something about structure and finding structure, but, order and chaos, establishing. Sometimes we need chaos, sometimes we need order, right? But, you guys have went through a phase, a growth spurt where perhaps you were very confused about like, why am I here? What am I doing? And I'm all alone, or I feel these changes around me are coming, but I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Love. Oh my gosh, love. Wow. Pile number 2. Confidence. Yes, my queens and kings in pile number 2. We have egg and birth here. The birth of your confidence, loving yourself. Okay, guiding yourself through periods of storms and uncertainty. Pile number 2. We have sextile and an opportunity to collaborate, to bring insight into something. Communication. I talked about strengthening opportunities through communication. Perhaps in the past, you guys would have an opportunity to connect with friends or people or different places, but you were always a little bit confused about taking action or what you should do, and if you can trust the choices that you're making for yourself. And I feel like, oh, hell yeah. And some of you here are giving birth to a new opportunity in love because of your confidence, because your confidence is really opening doors for you. And a sextile is about welcoming an opportunity and it's an easy energy. The sextile carries the energy of Venus. So it's a very nice, like harmonious, like easygoing kind of energy, instead of like, an opposition or a square, which is much more challenging. And after going through a really period of soul searching and confusion, you guys coming out the other side of it, feeling confident about the new things in your life. We have, the 9th house in seeking. Wow. What's so funny is that the first pile got the 9th house too. So there must be, obviously the 9th house is an amazing house in astrology. It's one of the strongest houses. It's a trine house. It's got it going on. The 9th house has to do with the good deeds that we did in a past life that are coming to fruition in this life because of good things we did in the past, okay? And the 9th house is also about seeking a direction and finding a new direction here. And this talks about adventure, okay? Higher education, travel, aspirations, risk-taking, faith and beliefs and travel, okay? Some of you could have an opportunity in love because you're willing to go be confident and go travel the world, or go to different things, or some people like really get a lot out of traveling and going to new places. And perhaps some of you, because you're being very brave, courageous, confident, you're going to be finding new opportunities in love, or new opportunities to be really confident about the choices that you're making. Fabulous. Pile number 2. Oh, nice, nice, nice. I like it. And we have creative here. Card 111, 111, 111. Angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor, birth of a new creative idea, confidence. All right. And this sextile is also an opportunity that opens doors for you by being confident, by being willing to put yourself out there. For example, if you have art or you do art and yet you go to a different place to show your art, or you do something new, or you travel to another area or an event to show your work. Like, I feel all of these things that you're doing, all of these, like, risk taking, it says risk taking and confidence are actually bringing out a super creative energy within you, and may even foster like meeting someone new in love. Okay, it says the angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe a life that you love. Oh my gosh. So going from confusion, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make my life better. I don't know where to go from here. I don't really know. Like, where there's a will, there's a way. And I feel like you guys picked yourself up off the ground, picked yourself up out of confusion, picked yourself up out of, total surrender, or maybe just like passively accepting, or just, I can't move or do anything because I'm too confused about this other situation over here. I feel like just by taking a step in the right direction, trying something new, doing something different with confidence, it's like it's opening doors for you in multiple areas of your life. Pile number 2. For those of you that are creative and consider yourself artists, this is an extremely, like, some of you may have had writer's block, or you might have been really confused about, what direction to take as far as like a creative project. Or you've had a lot going on and it's been really confusing, where you're like, I'm not sure what I should do next, what I should work on next. I just don't know. And sometimes when we don't know, it's so overwhelming that we don't want to do anything, and I feel like you guys are really pulling yourself out of that like lost, confused type of energy. Some of you may be having like heavy Neptune transits. Perhaps you have a heavy Neptune in your chart, and you are very creative, and you are very like, I just heard, I'm also nuts, like maybe some of you are just like, yeah, like I'm one of those people that I will like pack my bags up and go on a trip somewhere. And just, you're like, I'm also like crazy, and I'm also, but I love that about you, pile number 2. Good for you. And, the 9th house is about being willing to like follow your arrow. And there's this song, I think her name is Casey Musgraves. Anyway, she's a female recording artist, and she has a song called Follow Your Arrow. And it really reminds me of this like 9th house energy. Perhaps some of you are Sagittarius here, but you're very creative, you're very inspired, and you're also birthing a new confidence within you that opens up opportunities that in the past you maybe wouldn't have had the strength to go after, or you were maybe immobilized from doing something, about it. So this is very good. We have conjunction and alliance. And this is about seeking, and again, we have sextile with an opportunity for a collaboration. So I'm really loving that. And conjunctions, when they work well in a chart, can be really nice. They can be ultra, sporadic and interesting and creative, like if you've got a Mercury, for example, let's say you had like a Mercury-Venus conjunction in your 9th house, lovely energy. I mean, it depends on the rest of your chart, but that's a nice conjunction. That's a nice conjunction function over here, pile number 2. Perhaps you're having, you're having doors open for you, and I feel some of you are moving into like a more social, opportunities coming your way, and perhaps going to a different events, or meeting people that you kind of run in the same circles with, but perhaps you haven't really connected with. but there's an opportunity there for you to connect with people in a new way that like really empowers you. And, you know, I'm also feeling friendships here for you guys. And, you know, when we have like good alliances around us, it just reminds me of that show Survivor, where the whole game is based on like your alliances and how you play the social game and all of that. Like, you know, there's a strategy, I feel like, to alliances as well. And perhaps some of you are teaming up with other people and you're like, whoa, this is like really making an impact on me. A friendship, perhaps being open to collaborate with other people. It's like, wow, it's bringing me new ideas. I'm thinking of new things. This is really awesome. So I'm excited for you, pile number 2. I really am. Very nice. We have the Knight of Swords. Ooh, and I like this. And she looks stunning. She is, you know, and a lot of times with the Knight of Swords, that horse is out of freaking control. For those of you that know tarot, you know that that Knight of Swords horse is like out of freaking pocket. But, you know, here she has complete control over this horse, and the horse is looking at her for instruction. And to me, it talks about, you know, channeling your willpower, channeling your solar plexus, I feel, is getting really strong. It's really getting powered up. And when we have a strong solar plexus, it's easy to kind of like, you know, call the shots and make some choices. And pile number 2, getting your war paint on over here. And I'm loving the shoulder pads too. Shoulder pads sharp enough to poke someone's eyes out over here. But really like showing the animal nature or the spirit within is completely under your control at this point, and you're calling the shots. Very cool, pile number 2. We have the 3 of Wands. Oh boy, that's exciting, isn't it? That's extremely exciting. And there may be nudity involved, pile number 2. I don't know, like, you know, you may have some nudity coming up in your future, but you know, I don't, what are you up to? Pile number 2, what are you up to? The 3 of Wands and the Knight of Swords is very, very ballsy. I like it. We have the 8 of Cups here. Like, regardless of the place that you're coming from, there's always something new and interesting creatively to motivate you every day. And I feel like, you know, we can stay like in old habits and patterns and emotions, and we can stay like lamenting things or being confused. I also love the 8 of Cups, because if you think about the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Cups is where we are in a lot of a confusion, or we're getting lost in the details, or we're getting really confused about what we want. With the 8 of Cups, at least we've made a decision to follow our arrow. We've made a decision to try to go look for our happiness. We've made a choice to go look for the 9 of Cups, you know, and I like that. It's something motivating that like gets you out of bed every day, that becomes, yeah, Page of Wands. Oh boy, I like it. I like it. And that's the creative genius within you. And again, naked. We see a lot of, you're like, you know, haha, naked. But, and we see that big cloud of confusion and the shadow behind the Page of Wands. And in its place, we see crystal blue water and a very tanned and toned body, pile number 2. Good for you. And we also see like a firm vision, dedication, goals. We see taking concrete steps towards the things that you're passionate about. And it's like, you know, once you kind of tell, I'm just going to say it point blank, pile number 2. Once you tell who needs to fuck off, like once you black and white tell them, I need you to fuck off, okay? Once you say that, or you tell yourself like black and white, this is what this situation is. Because the Knight of Swords isn't confused. The Knight of Swords is very like, you know, charge ahead on things and very fast acting, maybe not always thinking things through. But the Knight of Swords isn't confused. The Knight of Swords knows what's up, okay? And, you know, I think you guys have, you know, you have the ability to cut through the bullshit, I feel like, and then to take action. And whatever was holding you back in the past, like whatever was keeping you back or holding you back from moving on or going on, and whether that was your family putting limitations there, perhaps there were family members that were talked back to you or would be very like, you can't do this or you can't do that, or we don't want you to leave because of XYZ. Perhaps some of you grew up with family members who put a lot of restrictions or boundaries on themselves, and therefore, you know, tried to kind of put you in the same box. And perhaps some of you, I feel like, that had a mother that was very limiting to herself, and then your father was also maybe squawking in your ear or telling you that you're not going to do well or you're not going to make it with something, okay? And I just feel like you're like, I don't care. I'm leaving the nest. I don't care. You can I feel like you're saying to other people, look, you can let whatever you want hold you back, but it's not going to hold me back. And just when you think like that you're down and out with the Eight of Cups, all of a sudden you appear out of nowhere, like fully fresh and fully realized. And I think a lot of people like don't expect certain like ways of act, like that you're going to act a certain way. There may be certain things where people are underestimating you as a competitor, or they're underestimating you as a creative person, or they're underestimating your power to break through. And I feel like you guys come out of nowhere highly competitive and highly attuned to what you need to be attuned to. And I feel like you guys always seem to come through with the sneak attack, or you always seem to come through at the last minute with something that just is bold and brave and beautiful, pile number 2. And people don't really, like, you come out of nowhere, and some of you may not talk too much at certain times about what it is that you're doing or what it is that you're up to. But then when you come out with it, it's like, boom. It's like golden. It's like, chef's kiss. It's really good, whatever, you know, you guys are doing creatively. And people don't, you know, it's like being a no name or not being anybody particularly important in the world, and then coming out like, you know, coming out boldly and bravely, you know. And we all have, not everyone has those moments in life, but life is what you make of it, right? Many times. And you know, you're clearly having a moment where you're breaking through here, pile number 2. You're really breaking through, and there's a real, you know, IDGAF vibe about you. I don't give a fuck vibe about you with this Knight of Swords and Three of Wands. And if you're like, if I see people, you know, on their bullshit, I'm going to call them out. And you know, I feel you guys have, and this is about the communication, the sharp, witty, on-point communication. And it's not about saying too much. It's not about like, you know, rambling on and on and on with the Knight of Swords. It's about getting really quick with it and feeling really mentally quick with it, and only saying what needs to be said and holding back the rest. You can see how she's pulling back on the reins there, and she's only saying the things that absolutely have to be said, and then just taking the action to kind of say, you know, like, it's almost like with this Three of Wands, I don't care what you think of me, and I may look dumb the first few times I try to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. And getting really bold and brave with your communication. is fantastic, pile number 2. And perhaps some of the creative things that you're working on are becoming more bold and more brave and more fantastic about some of the things that you're working on. And I just have to say it. It feels like I'm seeing like somebody's like panties hanging off of a pole or hanging off of something here. Perhaps you guys, like when you wash your quote unquote unmentionables, you hang them up to dry, or you've got some hanging up to dry now, or you're just like, woo, you know, like butt naked in public, swinging your drawers on a pole or something, pile number 2. But, you know, like with the Knight of Swords here, I feel like you're empowered to say what matters. You're empowered to go after what it is that you want. And you're like the sleeper cell. You're underneath it all, keeping things to yourself. And then you just come out of nowhere with the right stuff. Okay. So that is what I am getting for you, pile number 2. And leaving a lot of like second guessing, confusion. I don't know what to do. I'm incapacitated because I can't do anything until, you know, these changes stop happening. It's like, I don't care anymore. I'm just doing it. And yeah. And sometimes we spend a lot of energy passively resisting changes, you know, and just kind of like waiting for something to change or waiting for life to happen to us. And then other times in life, we just start with confidence, we start seeking out our vision for things, what it is we're trying to do. And in those moments, we find a lot of like doors opening, like I talked about, collaborations, doors opening. We find like our willpower, we find our moxie, we find like sexy, you know, like coming out of nowhere, out of left field type of things. And I love that. I absolutely love that for you, pile number 2. So that is what I am getting for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, my dears. And I'd love to hear any feedback or comments. You are stronger than yesterday, indeed. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the yellow tea light, and today's reading is called Stronger Than Yesterday. I love it. Love the yellow tea light. So bright and happy for you today. Pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it. I don't know why I see someone like eating an ice cream suggestively, or laughing or goofing off or having fun or pretending to lick something suggestively. Maybe you were doing that with a friend, or, you know, somebody like raising their eyebrows. I mean, I like it. I like it, pile number 3. I like your energy. It's funny, okay? And lighthearted. That's where we want to be. Stronger than yesterday. Let's go ahead and see. Spirits, angels, and guides. Thank you for allowing me to connect with pile number 3, who comes here with, oh, I'm going to leave that, with an open heart, seeking your guidance. Thank you for allowing me to be the medium in the channel. Let's get 3 more cards for pile number 3, Stronger Than Yesterday. It's fun to laugh at things, isn't it, pile number 3? It's fun to laugh at life. Sometimes you have to laugh at the absurdity of life. Okay, and I had a feeling, the 5 of Swords, I just had a feeling that the 5 of Swords was going to come up in your reading. And of course, when the 5 of Swords shows up, we need to have some levity. We need to be able to make fun of things, or, you know, not be the butt of the joke, obviously, or let ourselves get taken advantage of, but we need to turn that energy around and really, you know, and sometimes with the 5 of Swords, we have to be a bitch to other people too. The 5 of Swords isn't always about, you know, other people getting one over on us. And perhaps some of you in the past, you know, let other people call shots or get one over on you. But with the 5 of Swords, I feel like, you know, if somebody steps to you, I feel like you guys are gonna call it, okay? Very interesting. Yeah, the 3 of Swords. And yeah, you're not taking it anymore, okay? You're not taking, like, going through hell just so other people can turn around and betray you and backstab you and all this kind of thing, okay? Now I feel like you guys are the ones with the swords. Let's go ahead and see. And perhaps for you guys, becoming stronger than yesterday has indeed been an extremely epic journey for you. Going through deep pain and deep heartache and, you know, deep betrayal. And you guys are the only piles so far that the Three of Swords and Five of Swords have showed up in. And so I just want to acknowledge that, pile number 3, that like overcoming is a big step for you. Okay, let's look at your oracle first. We have Eternal Gatekeeper. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. Boundaries. And you see, it looks to me like as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, we've got some Kali energy up in pile number 3. We definitely do. And like I said, with the Five of Swords, acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you, okay? And perhaps there have been some real pieces of work in your life, pile number 3, but you're like, no more. I've set a boundary. I'm letting the light in. I'm letting in what serves me, and the rest of it can go down a fat hole into hell. So let's see what else we've got going on here, pile number 3. We've got an empty chair. Someone is leaving your life. You know, it's so funny. Stronger Than Yesterday is a song by Britney Spears. And, you know, she's had a hell of a life. Like, you know, but her father abusing her, people in her family treating her like absolute shit while she's paying for everything. Like, you know, actually, if you guys look at my lives, to my playlist where I read celebrity charts, you'll see my reading of Britney Spears' chart. Anyway, it's interesting with this empty chair because in that video for her Stronger Than Yesterday video, she is like dancing in a chair and there's like rain coming down and it's really dark. And anyway, like it just reminded me of that. And someone is leaving your life. And you're acknowledging that, asserting yourself, and protecting what is right for you, okay? And perhaps some of you dealt with an emotional betrayal. I feel some of you in this pile have dealt with family betrayal. You've dealt with betrayal from lovers and people that you've trusted. Okay, somebody is leaving your life, and that may sting and that may burn, because you may have had the Four of Wands here, a very different idea of what that could be. But ultimately, you found out that this isn't, perhaps some of you were in a trauma bond or in a very, perhaps some of you have gone through some abuse or abusive relationships. My heart goes out to you, pile number 3. I just want to hold space for that. For those of you that have really tapped in and found your inner badass and found the strength to carry on and set boundaries. I love it. I love to see an empowered queen, pile number 3. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, rejection. Oh, my lovers. Okay, and pile number 3. Like you have truly felt this pain, I feel. You've truly gone through it, pile number 3, but you're stronger than you were yesterday, for sure. We have Orca and records, okay? And this has to do with the Akashic records. And believe me, pile number 3, like when it comes to the Akashic records and it comes to our role in things and the roles that other people played in different things, nothing is forgotten by spirit. Nothing is forgotten through our karma. Nothing is forgotten. And, you know, I feel you guys are very tapped into your Akashic records. Perhaps some of you have had Akashic record readings, or you've really been trying to understand the emotional imprint that certain situations have left on you, okay? And actually, this is the whale spirit on my other channel that I have, Light of Ascension Tarot. I did a reading on the whale spirit, and perhaps some of you should listen to that. There'll be a link in the description box below to my other channel. But just the emotional imprint that certain rejections left on you, whether it was rejection from family members, rejection going deep into your past, but also has happened in your adult life as well. Okay, dealing with the emotional imprint of those feelings of feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling rejected. Yeah, pile number 3, and the ability to acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. So even though people have left your life, even though people have done this, at the end of the day, like, it's a protection, you know? And sometimes rejection is protection, even though it hurts. I know. We have Libra here in the idealist. And, you know, the thing for you, pile number 3, that I feel is hard, you truly do care about people, and you truly do want to find harmonious relationships with others. And, you know, being a bitch, or quote unquote, you know, and I'm reclaiming that term as a positive term in this reading, pile number 3, but like being cutthroat, or being very like strong about your boundaries, or just very much like, because I feel you guys were also, perhaps some of you had a father that rejected you, perhaps you grew up feeling like an outsider, or feeling very misunderstood by your peers, or bullied. And I feel like, you know, for you guys with this Libra energy here, it's very important to maintain relationships and social harmony and balance. So to really, and actually Britney Spears is a Libra rising. So it's interesting. Some of you here may have that as well. You may be a Libra rising, and you want to see the good things in people, and you want situations to be harmonious, and you may go out of your way to peacekeep in situations. But I also feel like Libra has incredible powers of discernment when we drop the bullshit. And I say we because I'm also a Libra rising, but you know, like when we can see what is fair, what's balanced, what is considerate, right? And I feel you guys are very graceful and considerate, obliging to others, but there may have also been people who haven't, you know, as much as you've been obliging and harmonious and fair and all of this type of stuff, like, you know, there's just been some really challenging energies in your life, okay? And I also feel like it's not anything that you can't handle, pile number 3, because I feel like you are very socially aware, and you are a balanced person. And so and at times perhaps maybe you've been indecisive about when it's time to let someone go, or when it's time to cut someone out of your life. Perhaps you've given people a lot of chances, okay? But I feel it's like you are doing the rejection. Someone is leaving your life because you told them, hey, I'm not taking this anymore. I will not put up with this anymore. This has been out of balance for a while, and I'm not doing this anymore. And I almost feel like you guys are the ones doing that. We have Cancer here, feeling, and yeah, this is what I'm saying. Some of you may have Cancer or Libra in your chart, you know, and because you've been hurt or rejected in your life, you may know, like, hey, it sucks, it's hard, and you may be very sentimental or nostalgic and, you know, caring, and it's hard for you just to kind of like tell someone to, you know, to bite it. And I feel like you are, though. I also feel like some of you could have a friend that betrayed you, and you finally took off the rose tinted glasses, and you're like, okay, like this bitch doesn't give a shit, or this person doesn't like honor me or respect me in the way that I do them, okay? And, you know, sometimes with the 5 of Swords, we got to call a spade, and we finally have to step up to the plate and tell that motherfucker off, okay? And pile number 3, I'm using my naughty words here for you guys, because I do feel like somebody coming back to you and telling you, oh, and playing on your guilt or playing on your emotions, or, you know, playing on your like care for others, this type of thing, playing on your emotions, but at the same time, like, you know, doing the same thing over and over and over again to you. And some of you may feel like with the 5 of Swords that there has been a pattern of certain people in your life, and particularly could be family with Cancer here, that there's been this pattern of people kind of doing the same thing over and over and over. And at this point, I feel like you're just saying, you know, the record is about what happened. What actually happened here? What's actually the truth of what happened? And while you guys may believe in forgiveness or letting go, pile number 3, I also feel like, you know, whales, dolphins, orcas, they have very powerful memories. And a whale that actually hears a song, a particular like whale song, can come back to the same area months later and recognize that song again. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of like memory within you, you know, and Cancer definitely does have to do with memories and emotional memories of feeling rejected or feeling like alone, you know, and misunderstood with rejection. So pile number 3, I do feel like is loving, caring, romantic, etc. that you are. It is time, and you have been taking this time to acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. And I love that. I really, really do. Okay. And it's like the rose-colored glasses have come off. You're becoming more decisive. You're becoming less sentimental. You're seeing things for what they really are. And you're really attuned to when somebody's like actions and words are not actually authentic, is what I feel. Pile number 3, okay? We have card 66. I am positive. Yes, even though all these things have happened, all these things have occurred, I still believe in the goodness of others. I still believe in positivity. And some of you may have an extremely strong Jupiter in your chart because, you know, or really strong Moon Venus connections in your chart. But it says here, your guardian angel is teaching you the essence of unconditional love. You towards yourself, though, towards yourself. And it's not just about unconditional love for everyone else. We also have to have, first and foremost, unconditional love for ourselves. And I feel like you guys are learning that. You are encouraged to have faith that the universe will provide for you while you are manifesting your inner desires, okay? To have faith that while you are, you know, that the universe will help you. I am positive about my life. Even though this person is leaving my life, even though it's been hard, I'm still staying positive and I'm protecting my peace. And I love that for you, pile number 3. We have progressions here in journey. And to me, this just talks about how much you've actually grown, pile number 3. And just how like time does help when we've gone through hard experiences. Time does help us come through that. But I also just feel like you guys have grown so much. You've really, maybe some of you have a big birthday coming up, like a 30th or 40th, or, you know, a big birthday or a big like moment coming up for you guys where you just realize perhaps something really good happened at work, or perhaps a friend pointed out something to you. But it's like just taking a moment to look back and see how far you have actually come. Because I think if you do, and I think if you reflect on how far you've actually come, you'll be like, whoa, you know, I am doing good. I am protecting myself. I am strong. I am stronger than yesterday, okay? We have the Eight of Cups. It's so interesting. I think the Eight of Cups has come up in every single pile. But to me, you know, the Eight of Cups is right before the Nine of Cups. So it's having the guts to wander off, even though you don't know where you're headed, even though you don't know where you're going. Maybe even with the potential, like, oh, I could get sidetracked, you know, or feeling like one of the things with the Eight of Cups is it's a little challenging is when we feel like we're getting sidetracked from our happiness or we're moving farther away from our happiness. And I feel like, you know, you guys are extremely determined. And yes, you know, like in here, her head is down and she looks like she's accepted, she's accepted the tough emotions of the past. She's accepted that there's going to be losses and darkness and that life isn't all fluffy rainbows and sunshine, but still looking forward to that Nine of Cups. Still like, you know, I'm not giving up on myself. I will not give up on myself. Good for you, pile number 3. Ooh, the Ace of Pentacles. I like that. I really do. We have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Hermit. It doesn't surprise me that the Hermit came up because of the wisdom and the clarity that we see in the Hermit. And also talking about a progressed journey with the Hermit, you know, and really looking at how far you've come and how independent. I mean, how independent is the Hermit? How independent is the Hermit's not dependent on what other people think of the Hermit. And the Hermit isn't afraid to like not be constantly dressed perfectly all the time or to not be stuck with constant need for perfection. And I love the Hermit in this deck because, you know, the Hermit in this deck is dressed like really casually and, you know, dressed appropriately for the weather. And you can tell like there is experience and wisdom in the Hermit. And there's the ability to kind of like shine a light on a journey or on a path. And I kind of feel, pile number 3, some of you may be guiding or helping others on their path, okay? And I feel like you're seeing someone in a very like accurate life. I feel like in accurate light. In the past, perhaps you were not seeing this person in such an accurate light. And we see this person sitting in this chair, right? Occupying this whole chair. And now the chair is empty. And I think when you look back, you guys can see, oh, I was giving this person the benefit of the doubt. I was giving them the best that I had to offer. I was giving them the best of myself. But, you know, this person is a selfish pig and this person is very rejecting. And some of you may have had a father figure that was a selfish pig or was very rejecting, or was always like you were always trying to give the best that you could, but the person never reciprocated. Perhaps some of you had a parent like that. That was very like stingy with their love or very like, you know, I feel some of you guys have dealt with some people who are very spoiled and entitled is what I feel. And I kind of feel like you guys would give a person the shirt off your back. I feel you guys are very generous, Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like you show up when people need you. And they're, you know, as much as you showed up for other people when you didn't have a whole lot yourself, I also feel there are people in your life who've been extremely selfish and entitled. And I feel at this point in your life, pile number 3, you're seeing the hypocrisy in those kinds of people. You're seeing the lies, you're seeing the hypocrisy, and you're seeing that they actually have nothing to offer you and that their entire front is an illusion. Their entire, like what they're representing is not even, it's an illusion. It's not actually something that you want. And I feel you guys are rejecting somebody. Like someone's making an offer to you, or somebody's wanting to get you on the same page as they are. But I honestly feel like you guys are independently stepping away and saying, I don't need that anymore. I don't need your charity. I don't need your money. I don't need your whatever. I don't need your attitude. I don't need your entitled, selfish, materialistic attitude. Like, I just don't care and I don't need it. And I feel like you guys are like growing so much because of that. And this is talking about acknowledging, asserting, and protecting what's right for you. I also feel like with the Ace of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles, asserting what you need financially, because sometimes we can have people in our lives who are very like materialistic. They're very chauvinistic, materialistic, entitled, very much me type of an attitude. And that can cause us to push away from like any kind of materialism. It can cause us to kind of reject materialism or reject, the outside world in favor of finding like a deeper spiritual meaning in our life. And I feel you guys are finding that deeper spiritual meaning in your life and a lot of wisdom. But I also think some of you here may be examining your attitudes about money or materialism. And I also think that may be changing in the sense of wanting to protect, because it says here, acknowledge and assert and protect what is right for you. Now, you're never going to live your life like those people in your past who were so piggish, but at the same time, it's okay for you guys to give yourself permission to have what you need, or to, keep some things for yourself, or for you to want to protect your investment in something. And perhaps some of you are wanting to financially or materially protect your investment into something that you've done or something that you will do. And I think that's a very smart idea. And the Hermit is full of smart ideas, because the Hermit doesn't have so many distractions that the Hermit can't see what's truly going on and make an accurate assessment of it. And there is like some practical considerations. I feel like that, perhaps monetarily, financially, perhaps some of you, I'm also getting some of you who may have been like, your job was like, oh yeah, we'll give you that raise or we'll give you that money, but they're not giving it and they're being very stingy, or they're not really honoring what they said. And I feel like, some of you guys are really figuring out who is honest and who isn't around you. And that can be very unsettling. Eight of Cups, it can be very, very unsettling when we start to realize like who amongst us, and that can be at work, it can be in families, significant others. But I also do feel like there could be a situation where some of you are you're going to go work independently, or you're going to go find work somewhere else, because what they're offering just isn't like what they promised, or it's not enough. Okay. And it is okay, Five of Swords, for you to look out for your best interests at this time. Because I feel like some of the people you've been dealing with have been hyper in looking out for their own best interest, while you have been perhaps, like gracious, or with Libra and Cancer, gracious or surrendering or sentimental or helping, or this type of energy, perhaps maybe even people pleasing a little bit as well. But no matter what, I feel like you guys are wise enough to know that even though this person disappointed me, not everyone in the world is like that. And some of you with this Orca spirit, you may be wanting to move somewhere else or go somewhere else or try something else because of, like, I want to go to a different place where people are more positive or things are better, and people are less superficial. and entitled, like this kind of energy. And I feel like some of you could have had someone in your life who is so different from you. And I don't know if you really fully understood like how different this person is from you until they betrayed you, or until, like, you know, I feel some of you here are very caring and idealistic about things or relationships, or wanting to restore order and balance. And so you're giving the benefit of the doubt, which isn't a bad thing. But I also just feel like with the Hermit, you're becoming much more realistic about what is. And I like that. I like that. I think there's a lot of wisdom that you guys are gaining. And when the like superficiality or the bullshit drops away, what you're left with is like the truth of the matter, and like what truly, like what's powerful for you is what I'm getting, pile number 3, okay? And, you know, some people are just not going to want to like wander off from what they're doing. They're just going to want to stay in their little zone. And I feel like you guys are, the Hermit to me is always exploring, you know, always exploring some new vistas or new territory. There's something about the Hermit that's very Sagittarian to me in a way, although it's a Virgo card. But there's something about, you know, not giving up on the like exploration of things in life and going deeper internally, right? And you know, like realizing to yourself, hey, not everything about that situation or about that person is bad. Like some of the materialism or some of the things that I can, lessons from that I can take with me, because materialism isn't all bad, as we know. Like we need it to survive. We are on the earth plane. So pile number 3, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you and what's in alignment with you. All right. So pile number 3, thank you so much, my darlings. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I'd love to hear any comments or feedback, and I hope everybody has a beautiful day. Take care.